What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Nakusoo here, and welcome back to Shantae's Risky Revenge. Director's cut. I have to get used to saying that last part. But on the last episode, we left off going around finding Roddy Tops and sadly killing poor Wobblebell. Rest in peace, Wobblebell. But we are in the first dungeon, the Squid Baron dungeon, and this dungeon in particular isn't too bad. It's a very basic short dungeon, though you can get lost if you don't know what you're doing. And also, since this is a Metroidvania game, which I haven't really talked upon too much, we'll have to be coming back to different areas and even coming back to this area later on in the game. About probably the second last episode, we'll be coming back here again. We'll need an item in order to 100% everything, and to get that item we need the last item in the game, or at least last ability in the game for when you get our transformations. This dungeon is pretty cool. I like it a lot. You know, when I was first playing through this, I didn't have a clue too much of what to do or where to go, and I almost died here, even though this is a pretty easy game. I only died like a couple times on my first playthrough ever. As we kill this plant here, it takes 5 hits. I feel like I took 4 hits before, but I think that's when you get the upgrade, though you don't face too many of those plants at all, only a few. I think they only take place in this dungeon. As we get a key here, and I'm going to show off something. So if we crawl around this area and attack and slide, there's a bug or glitch, whatever you like to call it, where you'll teleport. Now that teleport can be good or bad. Make sure you hang down to the sides here. You get some extra pots. Pretty good for getting some gems. Pretty decent money. We'll get our key. But that teleport can either be really good in some areas or really bad. I've been experimenting to see which areas they're good with. I use a couple. I'm going to be using a couple as I play through this to get to some areas a little bit quicker. I really want to see if I can get somewhere maybe where I can teleport a long distance to save some time and whatnot. You seen that red knight there? He's pretty easy to kill. All you have to do is hit him in the head 5 or so times. We have a place up there that we can go to, but we're not going to be going up there. It's just a shortcut. We need an ability, a transformation, our first transformation that we'll get in this dungeon. We'll be showing that off later, because we'll have to do some backtracking in this dungeon to get a couple of the items. Now you want to skip this room, go into the next room, and we're going to drop all the way down, because there's going to be a door here with a key that we can't get into yet. 2 enemies, and there's going to be a door at the bottom right. Also, you'll see a crevice that we passed. We'll need our ability to get through that. And this is the room where I crawled in that one space you've seen up there, and I did it and I fell all the way down to the bottom and I was stuck. Now in the room before that, there's water, which were with the spike platforms and that one enemy. And I did it in that room. You can kinda glitch it, but I thought you could glitch it, maybe get to the point where you need to get to later on, but apparently you can't, so it kinda sucks. You can kill yourself there. Eventually you'll fall down into nothingness. And in this room we have 2 of these enemies. I found out probably during my second playthrough, I believe, that you can kill those just by jumping up and down. I thought they had to lower their shields first, but nope. And in this room, we'll get a key that we'll need to go back to the other side. We'll be forming, what is it? What does it look like? It's going to be a skull here. And we'll have some scarecrows come out, throw their pumpkins. This is the first time we see this new enemy. And the cool thing is, when you see new enemies, when we encounter new enemies in new areas, when we go back to the beginning areas, we'll see those enemies there. So it has a sense of progression, and it makes it not too easy once you go back to the beginning areas. It still gives you a little bit of a challenge, and you'll have to still be on your toes. Finding some orcs here. be careful because they can launch upon you if you go under them. They'll try to crush you. And I have a feeling that, I don't know why, I feel like the hair in this mode, in this magic mode, is slightly longer for some reason. It feels like it extends out like a few millimeters, which is pretty helpful. I don't know, it could just be me. Something I also wanted to talk about magic mode, I didn't really get to talk about it too much in the first episode because there's so much stuff going on and I have a lot to talk about this game. Originally in the DSi, I believe the iOS version, I'm not entirely sure about that, I think so, you could switch out your normal costume and this dancer costume at any time. And I found that to be really cool, and I'm kind of sad they took it out. They added magic mode as a way to get something when you complete the game, instead of having it unlockable within the game, which I think would be pretty interesting, because some instances I think you would really want to use magic mode to get past some things, to use your abilities on, your magic at least, since it drains slower, and that'll be more useful for certain sections when you speedrun, but it's still fine. Nothing too different in Director's Cut other than what they added in iOS. They like changed some things, of course. Some things are made harder in the Steam version. For instance, right here in the come on, Shantae. For instance, here in the iOS version, there is a platform on the left side instead of this spike that rotates. Although you don't have to jump on that one, so it's kind of pointless since you can just jump over it. Alright, all those pots are random as well if you're wondering. So we come to our fountain here. This is the magic fountain. We'll be encountering a couple more of these throughout our travel. And of course, they'll have some magic that we'll be needing. So with channeling our dances, we'll be able to transform into a monkey. That is our first belly dance. How exciting. So the monkey allows us to climb walls and leap to new heights. We'll be using this a lot throughout, sometimes to skip enemies. It's useful since some enemies later on can really only be skipped if you jump over them and they'll have an attack above their head, but we'll get to that in due time as I collect a lot of these gems. Now, as I'm going through this, I'm trying to wonder what quick way could I do this so I can get towards my gem goal by the end of the game when I speedrun this, and also not have to do a lot of grinding. Because that's the one thing in these types of games, Metroidvania games, you don't want to grind if they require it to get everything. Especially, I'm going for 100% completion. Normally, to beat the game, all you need is the Storm Puff and the Fireball. Those two items allow you to progress in the game. Everything else is optional, although I still recommend having the Mega Pike Ball, which is the last upgrade, as it's extremely helpful against the other sections of the game, and especially the final boss, so it makes things a lot easier. Transforming, going up here, and those giant heart containers refill all of your health, so those are very nice to have around. As you've seen, I almost died a couple times here. Almost. I'm doing fairly well. Kinda getting back into... It's kinda hard doing live commentary and also playing this, so I feel kinda relaxed playing this. I haven't felt this chill and relaxed since I played Mega Man 7. That's been quite a while. And I'm also excited for Shantae Half Genie Hero, which is a Kickstarter I backed. And that game is going to be coming out this year. I think it's next month. And I put some money into it so I could get some cool backer features. And I'm really excited after seeing the trailer for that game. And if you are curious, you can find the trailer in the link in the description of this video and go check it out. But as you've seen, we are doing some backtracking coming up here. And we'll get a magic jam. those are 2 gems we got so far. One in that hidden section that we needed the monkey, and this one, that is all you need to do. Don't go anywhere else. That's all we can do for now. Now we're going to continue back down when we go to the east again, so we can go into that crevice we seen earlier that I was talking about when we needed a special power. But like I was saying before, I seen the trailer, I seen some gameplay. I'm really excited for Half Genie Hero. It looks really great. It's like fanboying over that game. And there's also another one, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. It's coming out on the 3DS. You can see the shortcut here and a cool silhouette of our character. And Shantae and the Pirate's Curse also will come out for the Wii U, which I really want to get the Wii U because I feel like I want to do it in the future because it takes place after this game. Whereas I believe Shantae Half Genie Hero is different. It might continue from Pirate's Curse, which I really want to probably record it in the future. So I'll probably get the 3DS version, then when I get a Wii U, get that version as well. And in here, I think it's, I don't know, this picture looks kind of like a dragon's head or something. I'm not entirely sure. And where the heck is the last one at? Oh, that's the last one. Looks like a dragon's head or something. And these orcs are annoying, especially in this room. Usually they're fine, but here you usually have to take a hit. It's fine though. We'll have some health before we get to the boss. And we got our key. Now that opens up that door we seen earlier. Hopefully we can finally get to the first boss. Come on. Yeah, I'm going to practice some of my maneuvering with this transformation. The jumping's weird since you stick on the walls. It's kind of like strange because I don't know. It's just a weird feeling that you can only really know if you're playing the game. It takes a lot of time to get used to this monkey form. And also up here we have some more pots. This is a decent grinding spot if you save in the previous save room and come back there, because those will respawn over and over again, and they are a pretty decent money supply. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, towards our first boss. In those pots there are only health and magic, so if you do need to refill, do that now. As we face the Squid Baron, his magic seal is staying right here. Not if we have anything to say about it. He and his babies are ready to tussle. Alright, so let the boss battle begin. A really easy boss battle. For one reason, with the Storm Puff you can beat this boss in less than 30 seconds. I beat the boss in 5 seconds before. It depends on what attack he does. I kind of want to show off some of these other attacks that he does so you can see it before I kill him off. But now he's going to die. As you've seen his 2 attacks. He does have one more attack where he eats the tasty meal and charges after you. All you have to do is go into your monkey form and cling onto the walls. But that is it for the Squid Baron. He is down and out, and we got our first seal. Well then, well that was, oh yeah, risky. So we managed to beat the first dungeon. We got the magic seal, and we're not going to be handing over the seal that easily. Now, technically we could smash it to pieces. That would be smart. Really smart. Totally wouldn't save everything up to this point. But that was a really quick confrontation. Though there is one thing that I want to do before we end this video off. I am going to be doing some backtracking as we go here in the Tango Forest. Now since we're back here, there's a few items we can get now since we have the monkey transformation. we're going to have to take the plane over here and go towards the west side. This is where we can use our transformation to climb over this log and get a magic jam. And there's going to be one more, and that's going to be on the second plane towards the east. And that is going to allow us to get another magic jam. Then we'll have one more collectible that will get it in this episode. I'm still getting used to trying to slide more often. Sometimes I'm forgetting to do it. It does save some time, so I'm trying to get used to it over and over. Also, I wanted to show that off. That cave is a cave that we'll be heading to after we go to the next area. You don't have to worry about it now, but if you do go inside, there is a chest with money in it. So if you do need some quick money, I think it's like 50 or so, you can go in there and get it. Also, there's some health. If you go in caves and they have the little vases, most of the time they'll have health and magic or a health container. You can go in there if you do need to replenish your health really quickly. So as we got that magic jam, there's only one more item that we'll need to get on this episode before we go back to Scuttletown. Now it's going to be an item that increases our health. As we come over here to the third plane to the east, there's going to be a squid that we want to talk to. And we'll be teleporting back to the Lilac Fields. That's where our item is going to be. One thing that they changed is the PC version does teleport and load quicker, which is to be expected. A lot of people say that this port isn't really that good because they didn't really add too much stuff and they didn't add a full screen, so I guess some people were upset about that. I can't really say too much since I didn't play the iOS/DSi version, though everything is mostly the same. The next thing that's different though is the, I guess, graphics are a little bit more pixelated since it's on a bigger screen. Since the DSi version looks a bit smoother. That's to be expected though when you make something for a bigger screen. I guess they really never expected Shantae's Risky Revenge to be a success that it was. I think it was one of the most, if not the most, downloaded on the DSi store. And also it's a really beautiful game. So we're here to buy the Fireball and also the Pike Ball. We'll buy a couple upgrades for that, and also we'll get some health and magic vials. That'll be useful later on. Also, I'm going to get the Silky Cream, but until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, take care, and stay classy. I'll see you next time.